there's like a 20-second lag. And then this 20 seconds is going to look really awkward in the stream. Oh, here we go. All right, we're live. Hey everyone, my name is Connor T.L. Sullivan. Thank you so much for joining us on the 7th night of the Festival of Lights and Sounds 2020, 8 Crazy Nights. We have already surpassed last year's fundraising goal, and now we're closing in on our own goal. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for spending your time checking out all these amazing artists. We're here today for two reasons. One is to raise money for the national bailout, and the other is to deepen our connection with each other by celebrating all the incredible people in our community as they share their art and creativity with us. So first, I'll introduce the National Bailout, and then I'll introduce one of those amazing people that's hanging out with me right now. So the Festival of Lights and Sounds is raising money for the National Bailout Collective. The National Bailout Collective is a Black-led and Black-centered collective of abolitionist organizers, lawyers, and activists building a community-based movement to support our folks and end systems of pretrial detention and ultimately mass incarceration. We are people who have been impacted by cages, either by being in them ourselves or witnessing our families and loved ones be encaged. We are queer, trans, young, elder, and immigrant. So if you would like to donate to the National Bailout, any amount is so much welcome and so much appreciated. And the link for that is in the description below, where you'll also find links to all of the socials and websites of all of our really cool artists today. Speaking of really cool artists, we have Kira Stevens. And Kira Stevens is a visual artist and MFA candidate studying poetry at the New School. She is also an intern at the Bowery Poetry Club. Kira, thank you so much for being here. Please take it away.
Thank you so much for having me, friend. Honestly, I have not read poems in front of people since like March, aside from, like intimate gatherings with friends via Zoom. So this is a pretty weird experience. But I have the chat open. So if you want to send like virtual snaps through the ether, that would be super, super cool, because right now I'm just speaking to my computer about all of my feelings. So yeah, I don't have much new content because I have been, as you can see behind me, kind of mentally vomiting onto various pieces of paper. So that's where my poetry brain has been going. So I'm going to resurface some oldies from what feels like my past life, our past life before COVID and the virtual artistic land. But I thought it would be good to start with one of the first poems I like ever read in a spoken word setting. So this is called The Twisty Kind. You say you like my vibe, but these waves oscillate at such a higher frequency than I think you realize. I want to tell you a little about myself. Are you ready? I am not. Okay, so I don't know what to say. I don't know how to unclench my jaw. I learned about auras the other day. I wonder if someone knows I'm a robot at first glance. A dude told me that in a bar once. Only that was because he tried to get me to dance and I didn't know what to do with my hands. I have a lot of power in me that I'm afraid of. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it's what I feel, and I never promised to make sense. I'm not sure anything does make sense. I mean, a lot of things make promises. That doesn't mean they're true, but that's not to say that things lie to you. It just means that they don't really know what truth is either. Do any of us? My head hurts. I think too much about thinking. Metacognition is exhausting if you don't know how to turn it off. Kind of like my jaw. I mentioned that earlier. It fucking hurts, damn it. But sometimes I get desensitized and I keep going through life not realizing I'm numb. But my body knows what's going on, and so it plays along, making all my other muscles clench too, because peer pressure. And then that explains the strength I must claim, as I'm a creature of habit like my daddy. I like string cheese, specifically the twisty kind my mom bought a different brand once, and I was a nightmare. I am a nightmare for many. A fun kind, though. I see it similar to the reason why some people like scary movies. Maybe I'm too hard on myself. I'm an anxious velociraptor like my mommy. I see sad in things without warrant sometimes. Most times, I'm trying to work on that. It's hard. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I can't keep ruminating about all the wrong things. I'm afraid eventually I'll run out of steam, and then unfortunately there'll be no more room for any of those dreams I've yet to delve into that actually matter to me in the grander scheme of life and of liberty, of personal destiny, my self-fulfilling prophecy. I've been a wet blanket friend. That's the worst feeling in the world, realizing you've been the problem, stuck to everyone, asking to be held, but your extra weight crosses the bounds between comfort and cliche, and the chaos and the exhaust. Like one time, I leaned against a car's gas pipe. I have a moon-shaped scar on my calf from the burn. I like it because I learned from it. Don't fall into hot things because you want to seem cool. I'm tempted to cut my temper in half with the weight I keep carrying around in a doggy bag filled with all these leftovers from all those past lovers I've forgotten about, whom I didn't care to know, as I was distracted by myself and my wholeness that I couldn't find or didn't care to show. I'm a hoarder of artwork and personalities. We each paint a different side of me whenever I feel like it. I like watches better when they don't tell time. Here comes the wine, all dressed in green. So far and few are the differences between the meanings behind anything and everything we think we see. Okay, so that is it. Oh, I just see. Thank you for the snap, snap, snaps, Connor. I miss that sound. You have no idea how much I miss that sound. It's the most gratifying slash like motivating sound that I like miss deep into my core. So I'm just going to keep going and talking into the ether. So the next guy I'm going to do is actually kind of new. So I'm in school for poetry things, and this is the first poem that I workshopped this semester. It is called Small Talk. My printer's name is Brandon. He's usually line leading my list of favorite things. I also have a list of unfavorite things. Each item on it is ranked equal and opposite to Brandon. Wet bread is the caboose today and every other Wednesday. Behind Brandon is a podcast trapped inside an empty pill bottle. I self-soothe as I consume concepts like cosmic connective tissue and luminosity as they highlight all of the ways humans have been wrong regarding the weight of a star. Early in the morning, the smell of freshly cut grass just hits different. My nostrils dig the chlorophyll swirls, green phantoms of beheaded buds. My footprints in single file follow my father's lead as he pushes the lawnmower to slice a path before us both. I forgot everybody is biodegradable for a second. A terrifying kind of beautiful is Mother Earth's digestive system. She's an hourglass with sticky soil. She flips us up and around ourselves like a cyclic sweep. A cold switch bounce from design to decay above all the things we take for granted until the clock runs out of space for us. Zeno probably had sick running shoes. I imagine a child with an identically blind passion as a moon who snuck too close to Saturn and a grin reserved for marathon runners and mothers. Icarus broke through the Roche Rimmon, and the dog star watched indifferently. Fiction is an epidemic of innocent heels slipping into daddy's boots and racing into blazing nothingness under the maleficent guise of fate. Upon reaching the point at which Phaethon knows he's driven into death, the screeches of the chariot's grinding gears harmonize with this muffled scream. So a little bit different vibe, a little dark note, but I'm realizing that everything I've written so far in the pandemic has been rather dark, but I think that means I'm feeling the same thing probably everybody's feeling. So I'm a big fan of mythology. That is something that pre-pandemic I was also quite obsessed with. So I tend to insert it into a lot of my poetry. So this next guy that I'm going to read, I'm trying to decide between a new one or an old one. Either way, they have mythology in it. So I actually, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Okay, I'm going to do this one called Petrify. So the word petrify is means to like turn to stone. If you watch Harry Potter, that kind of represents the same thing. So it's hard not talking to a crowd right now and like having the validation that they know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna keep talking. If you know who Medusa is, she's the chick that if you make eye contact with her, you turn to stone. It's a whole thing. So the premise upon which I started writing this poem was because I learned in my various random researching of things that coral has a protein in it called gorgonin, and Medusa is a gorgon. And basically what it does, it's the reason why coral has this ability to switch and is a little bit bendy and hard, so it like becomes petrified. So the whole reasoning behind it, it literally says in the text that like when her head was cut off, the blood of from her head drifted into the sea and like did the genetic tango with seaweed. And I don't know if you also find that extremely exciting, but that's that's the stuff I live for. Okay, so this is called Petrify. Imagine my eyes are blazing as I rant about a particular protein named gorgonin, which makes coral skin become snake-like and solidify, all because drops of Medusa's blood snuck into an ocean and mixed with seaweed's genetic coding after Perseus stole the head of Gorgon. I can't let you love me if you don't at least attempt to ask questions when I talk about something you're not particularly interested in. If your apathetic response extinguishes all the flames in my expression, if I start to feel annoying when expecting you to pay attention, I can't let you love me. If you ever request I stop singing Phantom of the Opera while I'm washing dishes. If you don't appreciate my seagull impression, or my pterodactyl, or my Edeling moped. If you don't find critical information in the fact that once I was loyal only to the blue checks mixed bag, but developed a more adventurous palate over time, and now actually prefer the orange one every once in a while. I can't let you love me if I have to pretend I don't mind tasting bullets when biting into you, not remembering the last piece of literature you've read. If I randomly recall fun psychoanalysis facts and you are just a wall nodding its head. If long car rides feel lonely when you're my only company because you're playing games on your phone instead of admiring the scenery with me. I can't let you love me if trying to hold on to your gaze makes me feel like I'm turning into stone. Like my worth is just the skin you enjoy touching on top of my bones. Might I remind you, my body is a library built up by endless piles of dusty books, and my blood is silver ink spilled onto paper. I am a million times more than just the soft cover I let you rub between my fingers. I can't let you love me if you refuse to make an effort to learn the complexities behind my handwriting. I just want you to be mindful of the possibility that if I am not heard for a certain amount of time, I will eventually petrify, and my softness will solidify. So next time I look at you with my eyes on fire, if you want to love me, the least you can do is try. Okay. I don't know how I'm doing on time, but I'm just going to keep going until Connor shows up and is like, shut up. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, but this was fun. So another weird experience that I'm having is that this is so much more nerve-wracking than on an actual stage. I am terrified of you guys, but in a fun way. I'm sure you guys are great. Oh, it's I'm reading the aw. Some of my family is watching this. That's cute. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Nice. All right, so I think I'm gonna do a newish guy now, if I can find it. La 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 la. I wish I could like ask you guys while I'm trying to find the thing, like, how are you guys doing? And like stall that way. Oh, I found it. Okay. This one's called May I Have Your Attention, Please? May I have your attention, please? Starfish don't have brains. Arachibutyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. The word karate means empty hands. Eagle sex is an extreme sport during which a mating couple drops from the zenith and fucks mid-fall. Octopi have rectangular pupils and taste buds on their tentacles. I don't want to feel this alone anymore. Spectrophobia is the fear of mirrors and one's own reflection. I like sex best right after a good cry. Crickets listen to each other by rubbing their knees together. Somebody invented broccoli. Old people go on cruises to die. In my worst nightmare, I'm on a boat and the only direction is down. Peacock worms exist. I like how eating spicy food reminds me of mortality, like sweet and savory, but existential. Darwin played the trombone for his beans. The difference between seed and bone is light. Yeah, that's it. That's the last line. If you think about it, seeds and bone both go into the ground. And one doesn't have life and one does. Trying to figure out if there's some sort of way that I could summarize all of my thoughts. I'm not going to do that. You guys don't deserve that. I won't try to put you through that. All right, cool. So I think I'm going to go back to another oldie. So this one I wrote a while ago, like back in my previous life as well. I got ghosted, and so I wrote a eulogy for him because he died. So some important things to review before I read it. In a normal setting, I would ask, do you know who Echo is? And I would say, oh, this is who Echo is. So in Greek mythology, Echo is the chick that follows Narcissus around and is like super obsessed with him. She wants to love him, but Narcissus is like, no, I love myself. So basically, she got in trouble with another goddess and lost her ability to speak except when spoken to, and she can only repeat what is said to her. The other thing you guys should know is about Atalanta. She is the baddest of all ladies in Greek mythology, in my humble opinion. She's my favorite. Warrior, huntress chick. I think she should have her own series, but that's neither here nor there. That's an issue for another time. She was breastfed by a bear. I think that's important to know. So if you think about whatever genetic codings she has going on, probably has to do with the fact that she has, proteins from an actual bear. Her dad wanted her to get married, and she was like, nah. But then he was like, please. Also, I don't have to say please because sexism, get married. And she was like, fine. So if I'm going to get married, he has to race me in a race. And if he wins, fine, I'll marry him. But if he loses, I kill him. So that's it. I just think that that's wonderful. And I really identify with that. Okay. This is called eulogy. The mode by which you chose to show your lack of love for me was a magic trick, a disappearing act. I was the one holding the curtain before you vanished. Then I was Echo, waiting for a text, following Narcissus around with so much to say on my chest, but you gave my voice nothing to respond with. I imagine you feeling nothing. On to the next assistant. Your emotional maturity was a cheap pocket knife I let you cut me in half with in front of an audience. I trusted you to be there to help reconstruct my body when the show finished, but I haven't seen you since the bleeding started. You didn't even think to leave behind the sewing kit. I'm trying to fast forward through the stage of grief, go straight to the how fucking dare you make me feel this small. In a different life, I was breastfed by a bear. Anybody who wanted to marry me had to beat me in a race first. I defeated hundreds of men who wanted to claim my happily ever after. There was just something about the shape of your chest or the perfect way my face could nestle into your neck. I couldn't stop myself from slowly removing my armor until there was nothing left. If there's anything I've learned from this experience, is that deception and magic are mutually exclusive concepts. In another life, when I was a witch, I had to practice making potion over and over again until I mastered it. You were just a trickster in a cape with a god complex. You were Prometheus stealing fire and tricking heaven into letting you keep it. Meanwhile, you left me in darkness, so I had to keep myself warm without any guidance. I've been burying the memory of you ever since. I drew a map in the shape of your silhouette, kissed it goodbye, and then ripped it to shreds. The paper fell into a pile. I'm thawing what you've frozen, healing from the outside in. Okay, and that was done. Okay, so I started at 7:05. It's 7:20. I think I have time for one more based on my immediate sense of math. So this is a big decision. What should I do now?
Yeah, we started at 7:05, so you got all the way till 7:30.
Ooh, okay, so two more. That's cool. Oh, there's so many people on this chat that I love so much. Hi, Will. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Vincent. This is so nice. Amanda's here. Okay. This makes my heart fill with fluttery joy. Okay, nice. I'm gonna read another oldie boy. This was somewhat recently published in an online literary magazine called The Furious Gazelle. Super cool vibe. Check their stuff out. This is called Callaloo. I'm learning how to be mentally present, such that I'm more likely to hear random things I don't know I want to know yet. For instance, today I found out there's a vegetable named callaloo, and now I know what I want to name my future dog. On a somewhat related note, there's a skin condition called cutis anserina, whose nickname is Goosebumps, which in my humble opinion sounds a lot less scary. I recently watched Animal Planet for about 3 hours, and now I'm convinced Peter Pan somehow made a baby with Bambi, and the world decided to call it a poodoo. So I think in a previous life, Artemis was my best friend, and I was the world's smallest deer who never had to grow up. Before the internet showed me what happens when cicadas emerge from dirt like hungry zombies, I wanted to believe that every dead human gets to become a tree. But now I can't stop imagining how it would feel to be the first feast for a buzzing army standing still and sacrificing my skin to feed everybody. Sometimes when I think about dying, I picture Boba Fett falling into the Sarlacc pit. So if there is ever a time when movies come true and humans become extremely small like they do in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I will most certainly have a very real fear of sea urchins, along with an inability to trust big starfish because I can't erase Patrick eating babies from my memory, and my heart is aching for SpongeBob, who has no idea what his best friend is doing. I've been reading Daniel Quinn's Ishmael, so I've been thinking about food chains and about how things need to be this way. I don't want to watch the shark eat the seal because he's cute and it reminds me of my dog. But the thing is, if I don't want him to die, that means I'm rooting for him to survive. Thus, he himself has to find somebody to eat, and consequently, he's going to hunt the penguin daddies who are marching home with food for their offspring. So if I ever meet a young penguin in person, I'll fall to my knees and say, I am so sorry for having this bias not in favor of your family. In this current moment, I'm reading about 3 giant trees older than 20 million years. And I'm wondering if these are the levers God plans to pull whenever the world is ending. I used to think there's a big red button somewhere that we humans are bound to push down just because we're not allowed to, but now I'm coming to terms with the fact that we have no control here. We can call things callaloo. We can change names and make them easier to swallow. We can dream of being smaller than we already are. But things will be as they will be, and all we can do is watch and learn from what we're seeing. Woo! Okay. So now I will decide if I'm going to go the dark path or the fun path or somewhere in between the two. That is the spectrum I tend to dwell on. Some sort of ratio to dark to fun. Okay. During quarantine, has anybody gotten to know the multitudinous display of their vices? If you're artistic people, I'm sure that you have. God, all these people are so nice. Okay. This is called my vice. You first invade Parmesan cheese. I'm a toddler, hiding behind the kitchen door, holding a green cylinder to my lips, like a frat boy chugging beer, or a shipwrecked sailor with a bucket of fresh water between my hands. Then you are gummy bear vitamins. I'm 4 years old, trying to trick my babysitter into giving me more than 2. This is how you teach me to lie. You dangle a few more bites of sugar in front of my nose, and you dare my little fingers to try and grab them. Then years later, you ride my hormones like tidal waves. I'm 13 years old, cutting photos of Chris Brown from magazines and taping them onto my wall, making a mural to gaze upon while I learn to pray to my libido. These days, you're the hate fuck I can't stay away from. The gray area between shame and the moment before I swallow it. Eros and Tartarus walk into a bar, lock eyes, and lure each other into the bathroom. I am 25 years old, and I've been sleeping on my naked mattress for a month now because I only own 1 set of sheets and I don't want to put away my laundry. You're the scent of stale cinnamon buns leading me away from self-care. You're the firecracker the void spits into my ear. The first time I hear your voice, I'm in one of the wounds, either in this life or the other one, when I'm a seed. I'm a few days old, slowly growing into a flower. One day I'll pick my body from the ground and rip it apart. I collect all the stray petals and throw them into a pool, watch them become a colorful ocean of death. The wounds melt into each other and make a strange mosaic, flowing in and out of itself like a heartbeat. There's something about you I can't sleep without. When I don't hear you knocking for a long enough time, I begin to worry that I've finally outgrown you. And then I worry about the fact that I worry about outgrowing you, because that is the toxic web I love to wrap myself in, like a weighted blanket. I feel so grounded down here. The ambiguous bubbles of existence are muted, and everything makes sense because it stings. Yeah, so I'm fine. I'm doing great. Yeah, mentally, we're all doing so great. All right. I think from the last one, yeah, I got 3 minutes. We're gonna fit this guy in. I can either read Clear Search History, which is a poem where I literally just copied and pasted my search history and edited it around and moved it around a bit, or Dream Homes. I think I'm going to do Clear Search History because it's fun and shorter. All right, cool. Gosh, you guys are so nice. Okay, Clear Search History. Man-o-war jellyfish diet. What kind of fish do man-o-war jellyfish eat? Man-o-war jellyfish suck life out of fish video. Female monster is Greek mythology. Woman has sex with bull, Greek mythology. Mother of Minotaur name. Zeus disguises golden shower impregnate Perseus' mom. 36 questions to fall in love. Myers-Briggs relationships. Can rain spiders hurt humans? Rain spider picture. Rain spider as pet. Jim Carrey joke drive into oncoming traffic. Cubes. Hardware store near me. Difference between drill and screwdriver. How to tell if wall is drywall. Why is pushpin not working? Define debauchery. Oxytocin. Is oxytocin related to orgasm? Women brain giving birth versus orgasm. How do I roast broccoli? What does basting a ham mean? Can I baste a ham with a regular paintbrush if I clean it? Aluminum foil in oven. The Met. Does Joe Rogan think the earth is flat? Define connote. Cheapest flight from New York to Colorado. Goblin shark. Aristophanes' story, Spartan women withhold sex. Summary, Lysistrata. Walmart couch. Walmart customer service. Walmart return couch. Ned Umber, Game of Thrones. Why didn't Sam die? Game of Thrones. Angsty synonym. Name of eye illusion where you see lines between color blocks. Explain mock bands. Simply explain mock bands. Define aphorism. Dylan Sprouse and girlfriend. Dylan Sprouse blue hair. What is a prawn? Difference between prawn and shrimp. Why do Americans call prawn shrimp? Dollar pizza near me. Dopamine receptors not working. Insomnia relief. Okay, I'm done.
That was so fun. I'm just gonna let Tan in so that she could set up. But in the meantime, oh man, I love your poetry so much, and one of my favorite parts about it is the details. You have the most fun and exciting details ever. And as I was listening, I was thinking about how every single detail you have is sort of like its own story. Each one feels so meaningful. And I was wondering if you could talk to how you choose what details you include in your poetry, or how to what is the process of even writing a poem for you to make it so rich like that?
Hold on. So basically, what my dad, really? My dad just infiltrated the room in
Oh,
which I am doing. The audacity! Oh, okay, it's
the
fine.
audacity.
Love Tom. He's a nice guy. He just wanted his voice to be on this frequency so the world would know him. Um, your question, how do I pick details? Basically, I'm a big reader. I like reading lots of books at the same time. Um, and to do so, I kind of will read like 10 pages at a time and then write like a little summary after reading like a little stock full of books and like kind of relate them to each other. Like to me, the things that matter the most or the most meaningful things will resurface if they're necessary. So like when I was in middle school, I used to highlight the entire book. Like uh, I had a want to try to memorize everything, and I don't like not knowing things. So, um, throughout my scholarly journey, I've realized that um, your brain will remember the things that are meaningful, even if you don't know why they're meaningful. So, the random fun facts that I have encountered somehow ended up being in like the same emotional schemas that I'm working with when I'm writing a poem. So they just kind of show up.
Mm.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank God.
How did you develop that practice of writing, of reading 10 things and then kind of taking notes on them afterwards, like after every 10 pages?
The most simple answer would be mania.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know, like ever since I started school, especially for poetry, I realized that um, mania is mania if it's destructive. If you have part of your brain that is set in a way that it has this tendency to read 10 books at a time, then if you can make it productive, then it's not neurosis anymore. It's just a unique skill. So I think I read something, I don't remember where, but when I realized that like you have control over where you put that energy, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm not crazy. I just really like things. Let me just write that down really quick. And it just kind of like fell into place, especially in quarantine. You really get to know yourself in quarantine.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you had talked about how like during this period of time, you've been writing more poems that were like for the page instead of spoken word. Can you talk about like how the writing process is different for that, or how those poems differ than the ones that we heard today?
Um, so that's the whole thing that we actually have been talking about in workshop a lot is like the difference between like for the stage poems and for the page. So I think in spoken word poetry especially, you have the audience in front of you and like it's more than just the words. You are communicating via your body language and you have all of these other elements that can be used to communicate what you're trying to communicate without words. So, and for the page stuff, all of the subtleties and the little details need to be communicable in the page. So, there's like a thing called enjambment that I'm a big fan of. I really like when like the lines in a poem like will break off mid-sentence and make the line mean something completely different than what you expect it to, but what you think the line is saying primes you for how you're going to read the next line, if that makes any sense. It's like
Gotcha.
these little mental tricks that kind of are playful with the reader and it creates like a I don't know, like a little I see what you're doing there communication between the reader and the writer across time and space, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I also want to ask you about all of these incredible art pieces behind you. Can you talk a little bit about them and how those were created?
Oh yeah, it's a little rough. They're everywhere. I've surrounded myself with the chaos of my brain. Um, so basically, to
The
put it
chaos of your brain is so beautiful. It's it's so rich with detail and,
in,
and color.
so I'm big on psychoanalysis and like the idea of like play and accessing like your inner child. So I have cleared the art supplies store out of their like children's section art supplies. I'm a big glitter glue guy, blah blah blah. It's fun, it keeps you stimulated. So in terms of all of this stuff, um, I had a bunch of doodles that I had had from life's past times, and I just started kind of noticing that they could fit together like little puzzles,
Mm,
um, and seeing the ways that you can kind of connect them with like layer upon layer and seeing that you don't really have to plan anything to make art tell a story if you just say okay I'm going to add a little bit every day of like who I am today onto this and then
mm.
it ends up creating something accidentally dope. I don't really consider myself like a visual artist in some ways because I can't do things on purpose, don't know how to do it. All I do is mentally vomit onto something one day at a time and eventually it might or it might not turn into something. Like I just found a bag of like a bunch of scarves I knit back in the day when I was in 7th grade. I also brought knitting to school in 7th grade in case you were wondering what kind of person I was. Um, it's a good thing for ADD. But I'm in the process right now of kind of putting them in a sorry for all the mess over there. That's who I am as a person. But I'm gonna glue those scarves to a canvas and I'm gonna put glitter glue all over them. So that's where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah. So found materials. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we have to move on to the next artist, but I just wanted to say, and when your poem, the Gorgon one, what's the name of that one?
The Gorgon, Medusa. That's the petrify.
Petrify. Yeah, I think the speaker in that one is talking about how she wants to be loved by being appreciated for all of the little details. And
Hmm.
I think I can see that affection that you have for the world in all of the details and all of the ways that you notice things about the world in all of your art and all of your poetry. And so I just want to thank you for sharing all of that affection and love with us today.
Oh, thank you. I feel blessed to be a part of this that you're doing. Well, thank you, Connor.
Yeah, we're blessed to have you be a part of it. Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Well,
I'll talk to you soon. Take
see ya.
care. All right. Welcome, Tan. Come on.
Mhm.
Hey. Oh, cool lights. How's it going?
It's going good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you have an external mic setup or
Yeah, I
amplifier?
do.
Do you have it selected?
I do.
Oh, okay. Do you have original sound on? Because I'm hearing like a lot of room. I'm
What
not
do you
sure if
mean? Room.
like I'm not sure if you have your like external mic selected. Like if you notice the difference.
I mean it's like not directly in front of me. Should I pull it closer?
Yeah, yes, please try it.
Okay.
Yeah, this Zoom thing is tricky. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody can hear you real clear.
Is that any better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I can hold on. Let me see if I like turn it up.
Yeah, it's
Is that better?
a little bit less than that.
Too loud?
I think where you had it before you just changed it was good.
How's that?
Yeah, I think that's good. That sounds more
Okay.
natural.
Hold on a sec. I'm like,
If you go where it says mute and then there's like a caret, you can select the, see the caret next to mute,
uh-huh.
and then it says like select a microphone, select speaker,
Yes.
and you have your mic selected.
Uh-huh. My mic
Okay,
is
I'm sorry.
selected.
Okay, cool.
And then the speaker is coming out of my system.
Okay, cool.
Let me see if I can move it down a little more.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's a little farther away. It's picking up the whole room, so it's getting sort of an echo, and it sounds like you're in a space instead of like because I'm close to the mic. It's like just my
Yeah.
voice.
Okay, hold on a second.
And I'll introduce you afterwards, so it smooth into it.
Okay. Sorry. I was like, I should have probably checked this, but I had a busy day today.
Yeah.
So at least I got my lighting right.
Yeah, the lighting is amazing.
Thank you. Okay, how's this?
Can you play a little bit? Maybe
Yeah, that'll be helpful, right?
in context, it might sound different.
Okay, give me a second. Let me just move this over. This is exactly why I started changing my sets up. I used to do a completely electric set, and now I'm learning guitar so that I don't have to deal with this anymore. Because every time I do a gig, it's like some shit with the sound.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's set, and then let me sing something. You tell me. I turned it down a little bit, but can you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you see me on the water side? Is that okay?
Yeah. Did you check the high fidelity music mode setting?
The what?
Okay, if you go into Zoom preferences and then
Uh-huh.
advanced, this might be what's causing it. So you go into audio in Zoom
Okay.
preferences, and then at the very bottom there's advanced,
Uh-huh.
and then when you hit advanced, you'll get a new screen, and it says show in meeting option to enable original sound. So you check that, and then there's
Yeah.
says high fidelity music mode.
Okay.
Check that.
I don't see that setting.
Oh, okay, it's because I think you have to like update Zoom, but it'll be okay. It's just like
Okay.
it's a little bit more compressed than normal, but it's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, it sounds good.
Are you sure? It's not terrible?
Play your guitar again.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me back up a little bit.
Yeah, that's better.
Better?
Yeah, and on the top
Say it again.
it says turn on original sound in like in the screen where your face is. There's like turn on original sound.
Um, oh, it says turn off. Like I see turn off original sound.
Okay, then you already have it on. I was just
Okay.
like double checking everything that I could
Okay.
check.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Do you feel ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Great.
Like
All right.
SpongeBob.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Tan Brown. Tan Brown is a singer-songwriter based in Brooklyn, New York, with a conscious nod to singers like Sade and Aaliyah. Tan presents listeners with a new familiar, signature hazy vocals over ambient electric vibes to share stories of a vulnerable lover's mind. Stay tuned to the latest from Tan on social media at Tan Brown Sings on all platforms. Tan, thank you so much for being here. Take it away.
Yay. Okay, so this is strange because I've never done anything like this. Um, I'm gonna start with a song that I wrote last year. It's about getting ghosted. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm trying to pay attention to the YouTube feed as well, so I can sort of ensure that it's all coming through. But I'm gonna start. Why can't I get through? Why am I getting a busy life? What's with your number? Is this your way to say we're out of time? I gave me no warning. I'd like to be the one to draw the line. So disrespectful. If you wanted to ghost, I wouldn't waste my time. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. You hurt my pride. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Hello, goodbye. I try not to take it personal. My Scorpio side gets emotional. I just want to keep it comfortable and rational. But na 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 na, your ego's me. Oh man, oh man, oh man, you're killing me. Oh na 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 na, your ego's me. Oh man, oh man, oh man, you gave me no warning. I'd like to be the one to draw the line. It's so disrespectful. If you wanted to ghost, I wouldn't waste my time. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. You hurt my pride. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. Hello, goodbye. Okay, hopefully that all went through. Sounds great. Okay, great. So everybody can hear everything. Okay, this next part might be kind of tricky, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So when I do my gigs, like in person, I like to make up songs with the audience. So if anybody can drop 3 words into the chat right now, I will use those words and write a song with you. So they can be anything. They can be as weird as you want or as normal as you want, but I just need 3. So whatever I see come up first is what I'm gonna use. And I will give that a second. Petrify, that's a good word. I need 2 more. Broccoli, okay, gosh. Make it hard for me. And then 1 more. I need 1 more word. Everything, all the good things come in 3s. Petrify and broccoli are a good vibe. I'm gonna start and, okay, wolves, thank you. Okay, so petrify, broccoli, and wolves. Okay, great. So give me a second and hear a melody in my head, and then we're gonna sing about this. This is gonna be hard. Whew. Oh, I like magnetic. I might take that instead. When I was a girl, they told me, eat my broccoli if I want to be strong. When I was a girl, the world was terrifying, sometimes petrifying, but I wanna be the monster. I wanna be the wolf. I wanna be the monster in your mind. It's magnetic how you draw me in. I am lost in all my senses and all of it. If I try to find the way to my strength, I could be somebody else. I wanna be the monster. I wanna be the wolf. I wanna be the monster inside your head. Your head. When I was a girl, they told me to eat my broccoli if I wanted to be strong. And I truly want to be. All right. So that was my made up song with broccoli and petrify and magnetic. So that was actually a good, really good stretch for me. So thank you for giving me the word broccoli, because that helped me to challenge myself today on this lovely Friday night. Okay, so this is going to be my last song. And I wrote it recently. I'm gonna get a little preachy for a second, but there's been a lot of loss in my life the past year, as I'm sure there's been for a lot of people. And it started for me last year in November. People were dying. I went to more funerals than I would like to go to ever again. And with that in mind, I realized as I was grappling with loss and grief and how do we manage that as human beings, I was thinking about the moments, what makes the moment sacred, you know? So for example, all of us in this space right now, you're on the other side of the screen and I'm here, but like only we can confirm this moment. I mean, other people may be able to find the live stream later, but they're not in this present moment with us. And so there's something about us only being able to confirm this experience. And then when we all go, when we leave this planet, the memory of this moment, you know, anybody that's in this room and you can't reach out to someone that's experiencing this with you, the moment becomes sacred because now it's this memory, almost like a dream state in your mind. No one else can confirm that except you and the person that were having that experience together. And so I wrote this song in the wake of realizing that really all we have is time, and every hour and all we have are hours, and every moment is sacred, and we can really learn to deep dive and really, I think, value those moments a little more when you realize how sacred they can become when the other person's no longer there. So hopefully that explained it well. I'm not sure, but it's called Only Hours. And this is like the second time I've ever played it. So please bear with me if something comes up wrong. And thank you, Michael. Something beautiful is blooming in the place of all this loss. So I feel that wholeheartedly. Can you see me on the water side while you're traveling between the lights? What's for real and what's been on my mind? They don't align. I'm frustrated by the way you left. It's unfair that this is how it ends. Can you meet me where I won't forget? I'll stay inside. No one can hear the music. It's only out. And when we dance, the time becomes illusion. It's only out. And if I can't connect the dots or see you rise across from mine, I didn't know I loved you like the way I hold to fading times. If you are slipping through my hands, I suffer just to travel back. I'll search for you across the earth just one more time. For what it's worth, there's only ours. There's only ours. Oh. There's only hours, and if we dance, no one can hear the music. It's only out. And that's it. That was my last song. So my name is Tan, and you can find me everywhere at Tan Brown Sings. And I'm on Spotify and all that jazz, Tan Brown. I don't think there's anybody else that has that name. Shout out to my mom. And yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, Tan, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was really struck by the pun or the double entendre of hours.
Yeah, that's a fun one for me.
Yeah. And especially this year, this like has that song taken on new meaning to you with like how time has felt
Oh
this year?
man, completely. I mean, I am literally a different person than when this year began. And it's been transformative in ways I cannot even begin to describe. But time for me now, it's my relationship with time is so different. It's currency, it's gold, it is how I use it. I use it like the way I would budget now, and the way like now that I realize too, like all of these moments are sacred, like every living, breathing experience I'm having, uh, it just makes me want to choose my experiences with more intention. And I have so much gratitude. I know this year was traumatizing for a lot of people, so I don't mean to downplay that at all. But I know for me, I needed this like pause, this forced into the internal world. And I definitely, yeah, I think it was like a mass, you know, push for all of us. But for me, it just definitely has been completely transformative. So, and my writing is absolutely affected by that. So it's been good.
Yeah, how have you been thinking about your writing recently?
Um, I honestly, it's insane. Like I'm at a point now where my writing is almost like breathing. And it's why I love to freestyle so much, because I truly have the belief that every song that I hear is already written. It's kind of like someone's just singing it to me. And I'm very grateful for that. And I think also I'm teaching others. I've been teaching other singers this year how to access the same channel. Um,
How do you
and yeah,
access
it's
that
made
channel?
me a bit more fearless. It's made me more fearless. So it's my writing has definitely been altered from this time. What did you just say?
I said, how did you access that channel?
Oh,
I feel like I'm so far away from it.
it takes some work, but it's not as hard as you think. You gotta have first recognize that there's you and then there's you. Like there's me and then there's Tan. And I have to understand uh, how Tan thinks and how she speaks so that I can access what it is she has for me, if that makes sense. And so that intention starts beyond the writing. It's you waking up in the morning and say, what can I do for you? Like, what do you need? Asking yourself this question. Um, and then that's the beginning of the conversation that becomes easier to access when you sit down to write, because you've spent so much time communicating with yourself. And accessing the full depth and range of emotions you can feel. And also for me, realizing that any emotion, no matter how strong it feels or overwhelming, like the guarantee of any emotion is it will pass. And actually, what trips up a lot of songwriters is their resistance to feel. I think we are often as creators afraid of the full expanse of what we feel because it's so, it can be very overwhelming. And I think that fear makes us think like, oh, we have to like, let's put a wall in front of this and then that's the way to save myself. And it's absolutely not the way. The way through is to let it completely wash over you. Ask yourself the questions, figure out why it affects you so deeply, get the words from that space. And then once it passes, those things get tucked into the back of your mind until you need them, And this year for me, I've actually started for the first time doing I was commissioned to do a project from a label, which was incredible, but doing all of this work to dive into a feeling when they were sending me over these briefs and telling me this is the energy we want you to connect to, I had no problem getting there because I'm constantly digging around, and so yeah, it was definitely, this year has been a testament to the proof of the inner work and how it translates into my artistry. And yeah.
Yeah, that's so inspiring, man. I really gotta start asking myself, hey, Connor, what are
Yeah,
you doing
ask the
here?
questions.
Yeah.
Ask the questions.
how does
No better time than now.
how does that like access to that emotional connection into that like I think that deepening of a relationship with yourself, how does that affect the way that you think about the songwriting craft? Because you're
Ah,
talking about like because you freestyle the song so beautifully in a matter of seconds,
uh-huh.
and it was like a full song that felt very emotional and real. So how does like having that capacity to do something so quickly affect the way that you think about the actual craft of songwriting, like beyond just the emotions but like the techniques and the
Right. Now, when you say technique, for me, I recently, last year actually, which is recent for me because of last year, I learned what the term synesthesia meant,
yeah,
and I was like
with
fascinated by
Akpanaluo,
it. Say that again.
with Akpanaluo.
Yes, right. And and yeah, I sat with that for a while, and I was like, I don't have this, but like, what is my synesthesia? Like, what is the thing in terms of my technique that helps me to access and then put structure to the energy of the song? Um, and for me, I realized my synesthesia is storytelling. Like when you give me words, a movie starts playing in my head. And that movie is now informing the story I'm telling. And so when I go back to when you say, if we want to get technical, the technique, good songs are good stories. Even if the song is I study a lot of songwriting. So like, for example, I was in a room and the guy who wrote the song Yeah by Usher and Lil Jon, which is like, this is a good reference and a good example of this. When he first wrote the demo, the hook was completely different. And I think he had sent it to, I think it was LA Reid at the time or somebody he sent it to. And they were like, this song is not done. I don't know what the story is here. And he went back to the drawing board and his story that he created was like, that bridge part was like, so I dropped low and she like pressed up on me and she's like, yeah. And that became the story where he was like the feeling of the yeah. And he was like, I felt like I was crazy, but it's so translated to that moment of like being in the club and that feeling when you're vibing with somebody. It's just like, yeah, like that's what's happening in your head constantly. And he went back with this, yeah. And that was it. The song was golden. And that's the thing is like, we all love songs like that because they link the stories together so well, and it becomes cinematic in your soul, whether you realize it or not. I mean, as an aside, part of my freelance work, besides music, because I do get paid for my music, is I'm a creative director. And so when I speak to people and their brands and stuff, I always tell them that people don't invest in a brand, they invest in the story they think the brand is going to tell. And so that's the same rule that I apply to my songwriting. And it's why I can access multiple stories because now if I'm trying to empathize, like say I'm going to write a song about you sitting in your room, I've experienced this full range of emotion when it comes to the experience of being in my room alone. So now I can dive into that experience and make it so cinematic. So instead of me being like, I'm sitting alone in my room on the floor, I can go and say like, I'm in my universe, I'm in my world, I'm in my comfort place. And it's a completely different story, but it's the same story. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think the deep dive for the technicality, it just helps me to access more ways to tell the story. And so I'm always trying to push it. Like, how can I make the most boring thing magical? Yeah, and I can access that magic again because deep diving into myself has helped me to see the expanse of my own magic. And then it's like, man, everything's magical. Like, let's do it. Like, let's make everything feel externally the way I feel inside, And this moment is also proof of that because you're staring at me like, what the fuck? But this is like, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the result of those moments. It's like, I'm just bringing you into my inner world, which is this is what's going on in my head all day. And it's why I can access and write so swiftly. And I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful. I know that this is a gift and it's not something I take lightly, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That was so magical. And we have to move on next, but I just have one more question because I
Yeah.
want to access that magic. And besides just the performance and all you've talked about, what's the most boring thing that you've made magical?
I mean, the most mundane thing is eating. I think this quarantine has made me sick of eating. Like there was a point where I was like, I don't want to put anything else in my mouth because it felt like I was just moving from task to meal all day.
Wow.
And I love to cook, but it was like there was a point where I was like, oh my God, like I hate this. Like I hate the act of having to cook and feed myself. Like I wish that this was not like a thing that's like a climax of my day, you know, because it's like meal times during quarantine became like, you know, a moment of like stepping away from the screen and actually, you know, anyway, so my point is I had to relearn to make eating magical. And like, and then as I was cooking, thinking about how cooking was meditative, and then the act of taking the meditation and then creating this chemistry in a bowl, and then now I'm taking that magic and putting it in my mouth, or someone else has done it for me. And it's like this combining of elements to give me pleasure sometimes, to give me nutrition, to just give me the stamina I need to get through the day. You know, eating is absolutely boring, but it can be magical when you realize what it took for you to get that. And then even the mechanism of my jaw knowing how to move and do this for me automatically. I don't have to tell my jaw chew, you know? And there's something magical about that. And I want to be able to find that everywhere. So if somebody tells me to write a song about eating, I have a whole story ready to go.
Yeah, I love that. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I feel
Yeah, thank you guys all too. I see everybody in the comments now. So I'm like, you guys are great. I hope you enjoyed it. And
yeah,
yeah, follow me everywhere. Tell your friends.
thanks, Ted. I'll talk to you
Okay,
soon.
I just like exit this. Is
Yep.
that okay? Cool. Bye.
Bye. Cool. So before we go to Liza, I just want to remind everybody that you can donate and see all of the artist links in the description below. And so we're raising money for the national bailout, and we are currently $75 away from $2,000. So if anybody wants to tip us over, your dollar could be the dollar. Anyway, hey Liza, how's it going?
Hey, Connor. Awesome. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So let me introduce you. So one of the exciting parts about this festival, or the goals, was to include art besides just music and poetry. And so we've had dancers, and we've had filmmakers, and we have Eliza Calkins today, who is a visual artist and is going to share about her visual art. So I'll read her bio, and then I'll let her take it away and lead us in that discussion. So Liza is a landscape oil painter native to Massachusetts. Growing up along the coast, she had always found inspiration from the ocean. She is particularly obsessed with light and color, in particular the time of day just before sunset, when beautiful color harmonies emerge with warm light and cool shadows. After teaching elementary art in public and private schools, she is taking a pause during the pandemic to start up a dog walking business, which has been very cathartic and has helped feed her artistic soul. She aims to create art that evokes quiet contemplation and a remembrance that despite it all, there is beauty to be found in this world. Oh, I love that. That's so great.
Thanks. It was so wonderful hearing the other musicians and poets, and I really got a lot out of Tammy's what she had to say, as well as her music, because it really resonated with me. She talked about how the pandemic has helped her really understand what's important to her. Obviously, music, and for me, it's been art, and I've always loved teaching for as long as it's been my career, but the pandemic kind of brought to light that I feel like my true gift is to make art that can hopefully bring meaning to people's lives. So that's what I just decided to focus on this year, and I had to think of a way to make money. And I can make some money from art, but you have to be realistic, and a lot of artists will pull from different sources. I found that teaching was a great way to make some money, but I couldn't do the art as much as I would have liked, because it was just took a lot out of me. You just have to be there for the kids 24/7, because you come home from school and you think about the kids and you think, how could I have helped Johnny, who threw a tantrum because he didn't have enough food to eat that day. And I didn't feel like I could be there for the kids in the capacity that they needed. I felt like my gift is better served in a different way. I feel like that's a role for someone else who's incredibly gifted at that. And I feel like with dog walking, I could go and do my walks, and I could feed my soul, and I could be in nature, which obviously is what I paint, and it's so important for me to be able to internalize nature in whatever way I can. And so rather than coming home at the end of the day just exhausted and not just worried I wasn't doing enough, I come home and I'm ready to kind of like take my inspiration and make some output. And so that's been wonderful for me. I've been able to do more painting. So this is my studio.
Cool.
But I also share it with Dylan, who I think he appeared in the window. So he's my fiance, and he paints little miniatures. So he and I, at the end of the day, it's kind of our habit to do some art together. And so I do obviously these bigger landscapes, and then behind you see kind of the miniatures. So the pandemic is, I don't want to be positive. Like it's hard, it's hard to be. You don't want to be. It's so awful in so many ways, and I guess I just try to see the positive. And for a lot of people, I think it's helping them to understand what is most meaningful to them. And for me, it's my family, Dylan, and our puppy, and then it's art. Making art that hopefully touches people's souls. Not everybody's, but maybe somebody here and there will see a painting and it will kind of resonate with them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it takes a lot of courage to focus in on that. And I think both Tan and you like talked about taking difficult situations and turning them into beautiful things. So that sounds really awesome that you're doing that with this year and with your art.
Well, and you too. I mean, I know you started the festivals before
Oh
the
yeah.
pandemic, but it's amazing what you've been able to do during the pandemic. And I think you're probably able to reach more people in this format.
Yeah, we get to have people all the way from Massachusetts come and talk about their art. Speaking
Exactly.
of,
I still hope I'll be invited to one in person.
you are for sure. Speaking of your art, I mean, we could compliment myself all day, but I would love to see some of yours. Can we see some of it like up close? And can you maybe walk us through how it started from idea to the finished product?
Sure. Let's see. Trying to share my screen.
Mhm.
Can you help me with that?
Oh yeah, it's at the should be at the bottom, the green button.
Okay. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yep. And I'm still hanging out, but I'm going to turn my video off so that it's just you and your painting.
Okay, great. Okay, so
Nice.
this is my website. So here you see a painting on my easel that's pretty loose. I can zoom in. So what I do is I start by taking a picture. So I think you can still see me in the window, so I can show you.
Oh, the your window is like a little small on the video.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't have to be huge, but just to get the idea. So I went to BU for art, and I had a studio that had this kind of view. But I mean, I was so lucky, and I had so many fond memories of that. Those
Sorry to
4 years there. Can't see it.
Liza, sorry to interrupt, but can you hit Command plus and that'll zoom into the screen so that we could see the painting?
Let's see.
Think. Oh, oh, what did I do?
There you go.
Are you still here? Okay.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, there you go. And that way we can see a little bit more detail on the painting. Cool.
Oh, got it. Yeah. So here we go. So so again, this is sort of in the middle stage, what you see right here. And then in the little window where you're looking at me, I'm holding up the picture that I'm working from. And so I generally take a photograph from a site, and then I often do a sketch. I don't think I did in this case. I just put down a couple layers of paint, and then I started just drawing with my paintbrush. and then just keep adding layers and layers of color. And then here it is a little more finished. What I'll do is I'll change the view. So, oh, I'm still tiny, but Connor, if there's a way to make me bigger or something.
You're bigger once you stop the screen. It's a 20-second delay between what the YouTube sees and what you can see. So
Okay.
now you're the full screen. It's yeah, Zoom is a tricky beast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's okay if I'm tiny. So then this is a little more finished. I use oils and I just add layers and layers and layers, and I just, I actually really love getting the fine details towards the end, but leaving some areas a little looser. But that's my process, and generally I paint from a place that I am very familiar with, a place that I care a lot about, or a client will send me a photo of their favorite place and I will paint that. That's just what speaks to me. I don't like painting random things. I don't know why. It just has to have some meaning to me or to another person.
How do you, if somebody sends you a picture of a place you've never been before, how do you connect to the emotion that they want to feel or that you think they might feel to paint a picture of it?
Yeah, generally I will ask a lot of questions from the client. I'll want to know, generally it is a place that's meaningful to them. That's just what I do. And so I'll want to know why. If it's not a great picture, I'll see if they can take a different photo, maybe closer to sunset when there's beautiful light. And then I'll want them to take a few different angles if possible. So generally I just try to talk to the client as much as possible to just really learn a lot more about the place. But I can show you a few images of more completed work. So
yeah.
You can see I have more traditional landscapes that I do, which is kind of what I've been talking about. So here's some examples of those. And then you'll see sometimes I do looser work. A lot of these are of Gloucester, where my family lives. But then I also, sometimes I just kind of want to loosen up and I like to just kind of like drip the paint. I use acrylics and I add pouring medium and I do some drippies. So that's a lot of fun too.
Are drippies the official title?
That's what I call them. Yeah, that's what I call them. They're just fun. Sometimes they're really tied to the ocean. And then other times, this was sort of like, forest themed. Sometimes the theme can just kind of emerge as I'm working. That's the case with this one. I just threw down some paint, and then this was actually an oil, and it was like chunks of old painter's oil, and it was really chunky. And so that kind of formed these rocks, and I was like, oh, I'll turn this into an ocean painting. And I was working on it vertically. The drips were going vertically, and I was like, I'll flip this to the side and make it into a landscape. So sometimes I kind of play around too, so that's fun.
What is I think you might have already touched on it, but what is the feeling like when you're doing one of the drippies versus the landscapes or something more representative? Like, what's your mindset like as you're in the process of painting it?
That's a great question. I would say for the landscapes, I tend to do those at the end of the day when I'm a little tired. I just want to be calm and focus. And then the drippies can be more energetic. And that will be maybe on the weekend. It makes more of a mess. It gets everywhere. So it's very much tied to how I'm feeling. But at the same time, I don't work on a lot of paintings at once. I might be working on one landscape and one drippy on the weekends. But I just kind of feel like it's a part of me. Like even when I'm going about my day, it's sort of on my mind, and it's hard for me to, in my head, juggle a lot of different paintings. But I know other artists can do it, but it just doesn't work for me. It's funny. I don't know if that's the same for you, Connor, with your music.
Um, sometimes a song will be so on my mind that like sometimes when I'm first getting into the emotion of like a darker song before I've kind of gotten to the fun part of it, I'll be kind of in a funk for like a week because I like dug up something something more serious that I wasn't ready for. But yeah, I have like 100 songs that I'm doing at once, so
Oh wow, yeah, that's how Dylan is. Like he works on these little miniatures for this game called Warhammer. It's very nerdy. Some
we're
people
here for it.
said that, but he makes these like little. Well, he doesn't make them; he paints them, and they require a lot of detail. And he can spend all day working on these on the weekend. And I'm just different. I just like to do one painting at a time, one or two at a time.
When it's living in your head like that, what is like happening? Like what is it saying to you or talking to you, or like what's happening when you're thinking about it during the day, whether you're walking the dogs or like having a meal and it's you're thinking about the painting? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, those are great questions. I'm often just kind of internalizing it. And if it's a painting from a photo of a place that's meaningful to me, it always is bringing up memories. I'm always thinking of memories. And so, for this one, I think about BU and I'm just flooded with memories as I'm working on it or throughout the day. So yeah, it really kind of like is embodied in me for a while.
Nice. Could you pull up the BU one again so we could see like in the screen share? And
Yeah.
when how do you know when you've finished a painting? And when you finish a painting, how does that like how do you I guess like does it stop living in your head, or like does it feel like it's transformed in any way? The emotion of those memories or just the painting itself? Does that make sense?
Um, I often feel really happy. I feel just a sense of fulfillment, kind of like having taken something that really stuck with me and having created something from it. I mean, I don't want to pretend that I'm making something more beautiful. I think that the thing itself is so beautiful, but I've at least internalized it and made it something I hope that is meaningful. So I'll take an example. Let's see. So this one is a Beverly Harbor. I was just driving across the bridge and in Beverly, Massachusetts, pretty close to Gloucester. And I just thought the light was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
All these blues, and then over here, I only had like a window of maybe 10 minutes tops to take this picture before the sun went down. And I just fell in love with that. And I'm glad that nobody hit me, because I just kind of like swerved and pulled over, and I just had to take a picture, and I just was so moved from that light, and I just needed to capture it. And then, like this painting I did, I made for a client, Isaiah, and he just really wanted a painting of this place, St. Mary's Lake, and it was so important to him. And I didn't really know why. And I did ask him, and he said, oh, is this, summer place you go to? And, it's great. And, but I didn't know until I finished the painting that, the real reason is his mom had recently passed, and place was where he would go with her and spend a lot of time with her. And I had such a sense of like, oh my gosh, I made this, like, he can look at this painting and just think of those memories with his mom. And that just like made me feel so happy that I was able to bring that to him, So when I can do that for somebody else, like, it's one thing to make something where it brings memories to me, but when I can do that for somebody else, it just really brings a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah. When you showed the previous one where the sunlight over the water, there's something about like a New England sundown that from college. I have so many memories of that. It made me really emotional just like seeing it for 10 seconds, and you captured that light so brilliantly. And I think like maybe because it's a painting, there's like a little bit it's like a little bit more emotional than just a photograph. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I'm really happy to hear that, and I would imagine that for people looking at my art, maybe there isn't a lot that's like, wow, this is something so special. Maybe it's just one or two things that where somebody stops and they like have that connection, and they're just like, wow, I remember those sunsets. It looks like this, and that's kind of my goal, is to just, you know, for one painting to reach a few people, or the, obviously the person who would buy it for their home. But yeah, the pandemic has just really made me, just realize what I want to be doing, which is just, everybody's just starved for art right now, and starved for meaning and spirit and soul, and for people to have some time with art, I think is so important right now, and that's it's really fulfilling, and I hope that other people can take some time to do their music or art, or spend that kind of time to, while we have it at home right now, because it really feeds your soul.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of time, we're running out of time, but I have one more question for you. Um, what is a creative challenge that, or like a creative goal, or some kind of creative choice that you're trying to tackle or take on recently? Like some, yeah, some creative goal or technique, or maybe it's emotional or storytelling or something physical. Like, what's a creative challenge that you're excited about or trying to like think about recently, some kind of curiosity or challenge?
Um, what's hard sometimes for me is to make a painting, as I said, when I'm working on something else, and I'm trying to wrap up um, this Boston painting, and I have this painting that I know I'm supposed to work on. It's a drippy, it's a commission. And I now that we're having this talk, it's making me think the reason why I've been putting it off is I don't know enough about it. I don't have a connection to it because it's somebody else's place and they haven't given me enough information. So I think that's my challenge. My next challenge is to reach out to this person and just ask more questions about it. I didn't think of that before, but that's probably why. So I need to do that, and I think that will help me get excited to paint it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense because whenever I see your work, I see like that connection to place and sort of capturing the vividness of that natural beauty or the essence of something in one of the drippies, or just like the sense of fun in the drippies. And
Yeah,
I think that's what's so striking about your work, is like being able to capture like the magnificence of those memories and those things, and bring them to us in a way that we can all appreciate and enjoy in our living room.
yeah, and it's a challenge when it's not your own memory. So I just, I need to understand more of it, what it is that's special about it. But thank you so much, Connor. I really appreciate it. And again, this is wonderful what you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on, and yeah, and sharing all of your work with us. It was so lovely to hang out with you and catch up, and also to see all of your work and hear more about it. It was
Yeah,
so
great.
cool.
And if anybody, I'm happy to answer any questions. If anybody wants to get into landscape painting, or wants to learn how to do the drippies, I'm happy to help. So I know you tag some social. So if anybody wants to reach out on Instagram or anything, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, your website and your Instagram is in the description below. Paintbox underscore studio is the best one to reach you at.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. and also ask for a commission too.
Yeah.
Liza did an amazing. She did eventually, whenever my album finally comes out, you were the person who did the amazing cover for it, and I'm so excited. I love the design that you came up with. Yeah.
Awesome. That was a lot of fun. I love collaborating.
Mhm. Cool. Well, thank you
Thanks,
so much,
Tommy.
Liza. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay. So next up is Goldilocks, and I'll just read her intro real quick, and then we'll hop in. And just a reminder again that the national bailout, we're raising money for them, and the link for the donations in the description, as well as all of the artist socials. So please check that out. And so up next is Goldilocks. Whoa. Am I okay? Here we go. Goldilocks, a self-produced Latin artist from Queens, New York City, and her performance today is featuring Raquel and Marianella.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Festival of Lights and Sounds 2020. I know a lot of people thought 2020 was canceled, but it's not. And I, Goldilocks, aka yes, I am Goldilocks, am here to bring y'all a very good time in the name of a very important cause. We all know it, the National Bailout Fund. So let's have a good time. Let's play some music. Let's catch a vibe. 2020 is not canceled. For me, for us, tonight, it has only just begun. This first song is called Cherry. I made it with all the love in my heart for you. I hope you like it. Let's have a good time. It's not out yet, so this is just special for you guys, for the Festival of Lights and Sounds. Yeah. Goldilocks. Ooh, you sweet like cherry. Yeah, baby, come and catch a vibe sometime. We click, that's scary. Yeah, we can make it come alive this time. This love got me, I can't get enough. Call me when you find some time, and I'ma make you mine. Ooh, you sweet like cherry. Yeah, baby, come and catch a vibe sometime. We click, that's scary. Yeah, we can make it come alive this time. This love got me, I can't get enough. Call me when you find some time, and I'ma make you mine. Let the drummer hit, let the drummer hit that. Let the drummer hit, let the drummer hit that. Baby, what you wanna do with me? You a bad bunny, you don't really listen to the scrutiny. I'm trying to be with you exclusively. I like your vibes and how we moving, baby, it's so new to me. I wanna be with you mañana en pasado. Me gusta tu mirada when we smoking on the loud. You a keeper, baby, I'm a cheaper. Hit me on the beeper, I think I'ma keep her. Baby, you the one, you the one. My heart pumping like the thump on the drum. You know I wanna see your face when you come, and I'ma do it at your pace, let it run. Dale pausa al momento que yo quiero quedarme a tu lado, quemarme en tu fogata hasta el que el sol se haya apagado. Yeah, dime lo que te parece si paramos el reloj tuyo y nos quedamos aquí. She in 90s, baby, ass fat and the vibes was wavy. I know she feminine, divine, that's crazy. You know I gotta make her mine, no maybes. Ooh, you sweet like cherry. Yeah, baby, come and catch a vibe sometime. We click, that's scary. Yeah, we can make it come alive this time. This love got me, I can't get enough. Call me when you find some time, and I'ma make you mine. Ooh, you sweet like cherry. Yeah, baby, come and catch a vibe sometime. We click, that's scary. Yeah, we can make it come alive this time. This love got me, I can't get enough. Call me when you find some time, and I'ma make you mine. Let the drummer hit that. If you guys are feeling it, make some noise in your crib. This is the Festival of Lights and Sounds 2020. So I want nothing more than for y'all to enjoy the lights and sounds that we prepared for you tonight, so much that you will reach into your pockets and graciously donate to the National Bailout Fund. You know it's important. You know you care. I care. That's why we're here. The song is called Bañador. It means bathing suit.
A ella le gusta que la mojen, que la calienten. Mete mano y rápido saca los dientes. Es una fiera inteligente. Súbeme la nota hasta que reviente. Ey, esto pa' que entre en calor. Ey, baby, tú te ves más guapa bañada en sudor. Yo la conocí en bañador y me puso caliente antes de salir del ascensor. Esto es pa' que entre en calor. Ey, yo no ando en olla, es que yo tengo el sabor. Yo la conocí en bañador y la puse caliente pa' pasar un invierno en Nueva York. Wow, baby, ponme en práctica. Yo quiero hacerte posiciones que requieren matemática. Se suelta y se pone elástica. Con ese booty me tiene tomando decisiones drásticas. Oh, baby, you a problem? Fuck it, I'ma solve 'em. If you got a man, you should call him. Cause tonight is going down to the sun up. And chillin' with my peoples is a come up. Ese cuerpo me da vida, se ve que es medio atrevida. Ven que yo te hago lo que pidas. Ella es medio salvaje pero a mí no me intimida. Le echo una mirada y ya sé lo que se avecina. Yeah, yeah. Ven y bebe de mi fuente, envuélvete en mi ambiente. Se come lo que uno se caliente. Fiera, échale diente. Marca el paso que yo te sigo la corriente. Esto es pa' que entre en calor. Ey, baby, tú te ves más guapa bañada en sudor. Yo la conocí en bañador y me puso caliente antes de salir del ascensor. Esto es pa' que entre en calor. Ey, yo no ando en olla, es que yo tengo el sabor. Yo la conocí en bañador y la puse caliente pa' pasar un invierno en Nueva York. Esto es pa' que suene en Nueva York. Esto es pa' que suene en Panamá. Ey, te llevo pa' la playa en Gijón y le damos hasta abajo tuyo con la vista al mar. Ey, esto es pa' que suene en RD. Ey, esto es pa' que suene en San Juan. Ey, baby, con tu pelo me enredé y ahora yo te quiero dar hasta que no pueda más. Ey, baby, dime qué tal si mañana desayunamos pan integral. Te juro que te va a encantar si te llevo pa' mi casa y te pongo a cantar. Siempre anda con su ganga, por eso ya se quitó el tanga. Dice que del vicio ya se enfanga. Yo no quiero dramas ni cosas raras, pero yo me apunto a prender las llamas. Ey, esto es pa' que entre en calor. Ey, baby, tú te ves más guapa bañada en sudor. Yo la conocí en bañador y me puso caliente antes de salir del ascensor. Esto es pa' que entre en calor. Ey, yo no ando en olla, es que yo tengo el sabor. Yo la conocí en bañador y la puse caliente pa' pasar un invierno en Nueva York.
If you guys are feeling that one, make some noise in your house. I know the landlord complains. I know the neighbors complain because you are too turnt right now. But listen to me. It's all worth it. It's for the National Bailout Fund. It's for your happiness. It's for the vibes tonight. So please, the information is in the bio. Go check it out. Go donate some money. I'll put it in my bio. Make it real simple. Go follow me at Yes I Am Goldilocks. And let's turn up. This one is called Dance on Me.
Goldilocks!
That's me, that's my name.
Goldilocks! She said she wanna dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby. Go and throw that ass back on me. Yeah. She wanna dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby. Go and throw that ass back on me. Yeah. She wanna dance, wanna live la vida loca. I told her throw it back. She said cuando toca, toca. You know I want it bad, baby. I'ma put it work. I'ma throw these bands. If she show me how she twerk, baby girl, I'm feeling you. So tell me how we gonna do it. We could get it jumping, baby. There ain't nothing to it. Me mata ese swing, baby girl, you moving fluid. She wanted back shots. I'ma put my back into it. How we doing? It's that magic shit. Acrobat. shades of 50 when I hit her with that magic stick. Filthy when I get into a vibe, throw it back and bust it wide. She ain't choosing, she got thunder in them thighs. She want everybody, why you tryna lock her in a cage for today? You my babe, shake that ass, oh cliche. Do a split, let me see you put in work. Make that ass clap, I'ma eat it for dessert. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby, go and throw that ass back on me. Yeah. She wanna dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby, go and throw that ass back on me. That girl, but she had a good time. That girl got me losing my mind. Mad Earth, girl, you know I stay high. Fat girl, she told me it from behind. Dime que te gusta, que la prendo y te lo hago. Ella no se asusta, está pidiéndome otro trago. She left from me behind porque era un loser y un vago. Se enciende con la música y el ambiente desmadrado. Popping bottles, that's the motto. Baby, hit the throttle, llévame a la luna. Con suerte la llevo pa' casa, a ver qué desayuna. La muerte me la provocó con esa boca mona. Yo le di su taqui-taqui como en el tema de Ozuna. But she had a good time. That girl got me losing my mind. Mad Earth, girl, you know I stay high. Fat girl, she told me it from behind. She said she wanna dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby, go and throw that ass back on me. She wanna dance on me. She put the backseat of her pants on me. Yeah, yeah. She said she wanna dance on me. Keep it moving, baby, go and throw that ass back on me. On me. This song is called Dance on Me. It's available everywhere. If you're just tuning in or if you forgot, you forgetful friend. My name is Yes I Am Goldilocks. That's how you find me everywhere. This next song right here is one of my most recent singles. It's called Animal, and it's a collaboration with an amazing producer. Check it out. Hey, this is the Festival of Lights and Sounds 2020. I would not bring no whack stuff here.
A ella le encanta cuando la tratan como un animal. Ponte me arisca, baby, quiero que me trates mal. La baby manda con su minifalda, la vino a armar. Ella es una fiera, cuídate de ella que te va a enterrar. Baby, quiero que me mates, que con tu pelo me ates. Déjame explorar todas tus partes, es una obra de arte. El besarte y desnudarte, pero es que yo me muero por follarte. Girl, I got the time and the place, you a dime in the face. And that ass got its own orbit, out of space. Girl, it's facts that I got you thinking crazy shit. Now you thinking you should come and get a taste of this. A ella le encanta cuando la tratan como un animal. Ponte me arisca, baby, quiero que me trates mal. La baby manda con su minifalda, la vino a armar. Ella es una fiera, cuídate de ella que te va a enterrar. Yo sé que le gusta que la azoten. Ella tiene un novio, pero él ya no la pone. Yo le doy lo que el cuerpo propone. Ella es una diabla y por eso se los pone. A ella le encanta cuando la tratan como un animal. Ponte me arisca, baby, quiero que me trates mal. La baby manda con su minifalda, la vino a armar. Ella es una fiera, cuídate de ella que te va a enterrar. A ella le encanta cuando la tratan como un animal. Ponte me arisca, la vino a armar. Ella es una fiera, cuídate de ella que te va a enterrar. Luis May on the beat. Let's go, let's go. Goldie with the heat. Thank God for collaboration. You know what's the amazing thing about this time? Is that none of us let any of this pandemic or any of its tailwind stop us. We made this song in quarantine without meeting each other. We made this in one night, man. I'm telling you, 2020 ain't canceled. We don't gotta cancel it. We don't gotta be canceled. We can just have a good time. Donate money to the National Bailout Fund. Am I right? Goldilocks. It's just another sob story. She don't want a broke boy. Does she wanna ride dirty? Yeah, she need a coat boy. I was uptown, y se me pegó a mí. I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Just another sob story. She don't want a broke boy. She wanna ride dirty? Yeah, she need a coat boy. Uptown, y se me pegó a mí. I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Pide lo que quieres. Me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. Pide lo que quieres. Me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. I know what you want, baby, I already heard of you. Your ex-man had the funds for a third of you. Get my money long, I could afford like a herd of you. I ain't got no type, you already like the third of you. Yeah, I got them all, and we bout the ball. I ain't tryna flex, but bitch, I bought them all. I could fly you out, yeah, I could get you wet. I could dry you out, baby, ain't no disrespect. I'ma make you sweat, I'ma spend a check. I'ma call your friend so she can give me the net. We gon' have a good time, baby, don't fret. Whatever you want, baby, I ain't done yet. Dime lo que quieres, me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah, she right on time. We gon' keep it rockin' till we see the sun shine. Ooh, she right on mine. Baby, give it to me like 2009. You a bad girl and you know it. Show it, you could be my world, I'm a poet. Oh shit, baby, I'm a splash in your water. Ocean, you know what I got in this bottle. Potion, dime lo que quieres. Me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. I can't be your baby daddy, no. Drop that ass like it's too heavy. Oh, you could get it when you ready. Ooh, she loosened up like she's spaghetti. It's just another sob story. She don't want a broke boy, does she wanna ride dirty? Yeah, she need a coat boy. I was uptown, y se me pegó a mí. I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Just another sob story. She don't want a broke boy, she wanna ride dirty. Yeah, she need a coat boy. Uptown, y se me pegó a mí. I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Pide lo que quieres, me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. Pide lo que quieres, me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. Dime, dime, dime lo que quieras, baby, pide, pide, pide. Nunca deja que su orgullo la intimide. Voy a hacérselo como su cuerpo needs. De your knees, hit the floor. When this bass hits, you know we gon' rock it till the police pull up knocking at the door. You a freak, let it show. What you need, let me know. I ain't trippin', I ain't tippin'. Yeah, she's strippin', that's for sure. Ooh, she bad, bad, bad. Left her baby daddy, now he mad, mad, mad. Yo no quería bag that. She was looking at me like she seen her cash out. Cutie in a dad hat. Now she wanna ride it till we crash that. Now she wanna ask me where the cash at. Baby, let me grab that. Now we talking business, let me transact. Flip it from a stab to a transact. Dime lo que quieres, me matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. She right on time. We gon' keep it rockin' till we see the sunshine. Ooh, she wine on mine. Baby, give it to me like 2009. It's just another sob story. She don't want a broke boy, does she wanna ride dirty? Yeah, she need a
I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Just another sob story, she don't want a front boy. She wanna rap dirty, yeah, she need a coke boy. Uptown, y se me pegó a mí. I know what you want, but you won't get it from me. Pide lo que quieres, te matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah. Pide lo que quieres, te matas con lo guapa que tú eres. Oye, baby, no te celes, que me gusta verte con otras mujeres. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sob Story. It's available everywhere. I made the beat, and if you like it, you don't gotta do nothing for me. Just donate to the National Bailout Fund. This is the reason why we are all gathered here tonight. Together, but separate. Together, but separate. We're not together, but we are together. Anyway, if you speak English, you're gonna be really happy. This next song is just for you. It's called Stalking Me. And it's very near and dear to my heart, man. Yeah.
Baby, you a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, baby girl, it's simply clear to see. You been stalking me, why you stalking me? You a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, yeah, you know it's clear to see. You been stalking me, yeah. Maybe it's because I'm doing me that all these bitches in these situations keep on misconstruing me. I know I've been flexing on a beat, but I've been grinding, I ain't got the time to waste upon your company. You know I'm just trying to win, that's a fact though. Doing better than I've been, that's a fact, whoa. Yeah, baby, is you with it or you not? I don't need your love, I need the top. Moving state to state, we've been living fast. I don't meditate, I levitate when I hit the gas. I've been living like I'm moving weight, now I'm getting bags. I don't even need a dinner plate, hungry for this cash. Baby, shake that ass for a real one. Yeah, you know you fucking with a real one. Yeah, so baby, let's just go and chill some. Got another backwoods, we could peel some and feel some. Yeah, you know I'm amazed with your body. Baby, you the hottest dame at the party. I'm never gonna change for you, mommy. I'm just throwing up some change for that body. She said you a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, baby girl, it's simply clear to see. You been stalking me, why you stalking me? You a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, yeah, you know it's clear to see. You been stalking me, yeah. Baby, you a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, baby girl, it's simply clear to see. You been stalking me, why you stalking me? You a creep, why you stalking me? She don't even let me go to sleep. She stay calling me, I've been ballin', I don't say a peep. I've been doing me, yeah, you know it's clear to see. You been stalking me, yeah.
Festival of lights and sound. If you are feeling it, make some noise. Make some noise in your house. Make some noise for yourself. Pour up a drink. Have some tea. Eat a cracker. I don't know what you like, man. Whatever you like. Listen, we're nearing the end of my set. I just want to say thanks to Connor for having me out for this very special event. You know, 2020 has not been easy, but it's definitely been educational. So this is another snippet. The song ain't out yet. It's brand new, just for you. Check it out.
She a bad bitch, better than your average. Shorty, she a savage. She ain't really looking for the marriage. Embarrassed, she don't never do that shit. And when I'm fucking on her, I be saying, you that bitch. Ay. You make me feel some type of way, baby. Ay. When you don't give me the time of day, baby. Solo te veo por la noche, en moteles y en el coche, amiga con derecho a roce.
De amores ella no conoce. Wait, you make me feel some type of way, baby. Listen, she don't want love, she just want a good time. Trust me, I know, I gave it a good try. She don't let me in her heart, when she look me in the eye, she just fuck me in the dark. Let me lick her in the thigh. She a hot mama, I don't want drama. Packing that Hummer, speakers on blammer. Her pussy wet splatter, you bad, but she batter. My pockets getting fatter, but that don't even matter. She ain't with the chitter chatter, she don't want love. She just wanna beat down like a fight club. What? And I don't wanna say too much, but she a player to be saying that she play too much. She run the game like a track meet, she just came to kick it like an athlete. She be smoking diesel like a gas leak. That's amazing if you ask me. Last week she smashed me with Brittany and Ashley. You make me feel some type of way, baby. When you don't give me the time of day, baby. Solo te veo por la noche, en moteles y en el coche. Amiga con derecho a roce, de amores ella no conoce. Wait, you make me feel some type of way, baby. Solo se deja ver el cuerpo, nunca el corazón. Como ella solo hay una dentro del millón. Y aunque yo me arrodille, me dice que no. Siempre me dice que no. She says she wants Chanel number 9 at 5. She don't wanna work no 9 to 5. She don't want a husband, she don't want a wife. She just want the money, so she dance all night. Hey, you make me feel some type of way. Baby, you slay. No, I'm tryna cut. If you with it, I'll pay. Hey, you need some action. Let's hit play. Baby, behave like a porn star. Fuck it, cause the movie getting made. Hey, you make me feel some type of way, baby. When you don't give me the time of day, baby. Solo te veo por la noche, en moteles y en el coche. Amiga con derecho a roce, de amores ella no conoce. Wait, you make me feel some type of way, baby. This is the end of the set, ladies and gentlemen. If you feeling it, make some noise in your house. Please make some noise for the lovely dancers, Marianela and Raquel. Please make some noise for Connor for booking all of us to be here tonight. Please make some noise for the National Bailout Fund. Please make some noise for me, Goldilocks, aka Yes I Am Goldilocks. Look out for us, we everywhere, baby, we live, baby, we in your house, baby. So yeah, thank you very much. Go donate some money. I'm Goldilocks. We're out of here. Peace.
That was amazing. Oh, hold on. I have something just for this exact occasion. Man, Goalie, that was amazing. That was incredible. Uh, that was so much fun. Man, it's been a while since I've been in a club since the pandemic, and man, I really felt like I was there. Thank you for that experience. That was awesome. Uh, if you and Raquel and Marianella want to come back, you're probably very tired. You can come on in. We could talk about it. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is all right. Sweet. Hey, that was amazing. I think you're muted. You're muted.
Yo,
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. That was amazing. That was incredible. Oh man. so
Yo,
much fun.
thank you.
Yeah. I was saying earlier, I felt like I was in a club. It's been a while.
Hell yeah, man. I know we can't go to the club. That's why we're gonna bring the club to you. You know, that's how we do it right now.
Yeah. Um, What was it like putting an experience like that together, putting a performance together? How do you think about the different elements of that?
It was fun. My dancers are here, by the way. Look, I got
Oh,
one here.
you
I
two are
got one here.
amazing. Thank you so much.
They're amazing, right? Yo, everybody in your house, make some noise for my dancers, Raquel and Marianela. They're incredible. Yeah. Yes, and they're hot. You can't forget that.
Yeah, I think most of the flame emojis were probably about that exactly.
Facto. Big flame emoji energy.
Big flame emoji. Emoji española.
Hell yeah. But it was a great experience, man. We just, we've been doing shows. We were literally just talking about it. We've been doing shows together for like a year now. And it's a vibe. We're friends in real life, so it was fun, man. And I gotta say, they're amazing for pulling this off. We finished shooting at like 1:00 in the morning.
Wow.
Like literally. So there's some fucking troopers, man. Real shit.
Damn, yeah. Yeah, you were talking about collaborating in the set, during the set, collaborating during the pandemic. What has that been like? Like either writing songs or working on these live sets together with the dancers, with Marinelle and Raquel? What is it like? How have you been kind of not getting canceled, not letting 2020 get canceled, and still collaborating and still making incredible fun jams for us all?
Well, you can do it a million ways. I mean, that song Animal, for example, that was just serendipity. That's what I was referring to in the video. Literally, a friend of mine tagged me in this producer's Instagram post and was like, y'all should work together. That same night, he DMs me and he's like, yo, I'm gonna send you a beat. He sent me the beat. I had a flight to Miami the next day. So I made the fucking song in 2 hours, sent it back to him. And then now it's like one of my favorite songs and one of the sickest choreos that my dancers have ever choreoed.
Yeah. For them, how do they come up with the choreography? Like,
Ask them.
What's that process?
Yeah, baby, why don't you sit next to more? Hold on, ask them. No, you can't be shy. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine these two amazing, talented people could possibly be shy? Here, hold this.
Hey, you two are amazing.
Hey.
Hi, Connor.
Hi.
Hi, Connor.
Hi.
Thanks so much for being part of this festival and for dancing your asses off. That was incredible.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
It's our
It was so
pleasure.
much fun.
Yeah.
I was
It was
just
great.
asking Goldie, how do you guys come up with the choreography? Like, how do you take the songs that Goldie has and then bring them to life and like bring that incredible energy? Like, what are some of the creative choices that you're making?
Yeah.
Yes. We basically just like listen to the song and we get together and we just come up with different moves and we're like, okay, this works. And then I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And that's
And
how
then
we do it.
and the other way around too. Like I feel like the music kind of speaks to us almost. Like we use a lot of the lyrics.
Yeah. And the beats too.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll like spitball, with our bodies, and literally like Mar said, we'll be like, oh my god, what did you just do? Like stop, let's do that. That's
Let's
it.
do
Like
that.
that's it.
That looks great. Yeah.
It seemed like there was a story going on, like certain points that you like were kind of whispering in the back and like kind of gossiping about the girl that they were talking about, or you were
Yeah,
like,
that's the part.
You
Like I'm so glad that you
noticed.
noticed
I'm
because I feel like not everybody notices that part in that song, and we literally kind of take a moment to be like, oh my god, did you see her? Like she's so amazing. Who's singing right now? Like what's happening? And then we're like, yes,
in
let's
that
go.
one we're like there's two girls in the back just like looking at her and like trying to flirt with her in some way and like trying to make her notice us. It's just just little stories that we create in the backs.
Yeah.
That, we try to make it work with the choreography and the songs, and yeah, it's really fun.
Yes.
I definitely noticed, and I loved it. It really brought so much life to the song, and especially in like this weird Zoom setup, it was so fun to have all these elements come together. So thank you for being a part of it. It was so cool.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And this was really fun, like a fun experience. I was just telling them earlier that it's the first time that we see us perform live, like we were looking at it and we get to enjoy it, and we were like, oh my god, this part was so amazing, or this like whatever. It was a really fun experience.
Yeah. Literally.
there was an interview with Kanye, and he said his greatest regret is that he would never be able to watch himself perform live.
Yeah, like literally for real. This was the first time that I feel like we were able to experience that.
Yeah.
And we were singing here and we're like, yes, I'm vibing with it. It was really fun. It was a great experience. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And Goldie,
donate money to the national
and
bailout
donate
fund.
money to the national bailout fund.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twerk, sweetie.
Twerk. Twerk. We have a saying here. Twerk.
Twerk.
I guess I have one more question for all three of you before we go to M the Myth.
Let's
what
get
are
it.
some creative challenges that all three of you would like to take on upcoming? Like, what are some creative ideas or goals or challenges that you all want to accomplish or try out?
Well, I'm gonna be putting out an album for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. And I want to get really good at these virtual shows, man. Like I want to do justice to what they do and to what I do, and I really want to I want to go full pro with these virtual shows. Like make it as engaging as possible.
Yeah, like definitely more video, like recording ourselves more dancing and just kind of like literally throwing performances for ourselves, our cameras, and then putting it out there the way that we just saw this. That was incredible. We gotta do I definitely want to do that more often.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna look out for those because I had so much fun watching all three of you perform. So I can't wait to see what the next level of that is gonna be. It's gonna be
Hell yeah. Yo, thank you for having us, for real. Hit us up anytime. We're down for whatever shows you got.
Yeah.
And yo, I admire the cause, for real. I think it's a very important cause, and it's an honor for me to be able to perform for that. So let's get it. I'm gonna go donate some money after the show. So everybody who's at home watching right now, don't be cheap. Just do it. Just fucking donate some money to the National Bailout Fund. There's people in jail that don't need to be there. Let's help them get out.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What a great way to say
Twerk,
it.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Connor.
Twerk. If you learn anything.
Twerk.
Work.
Twerk. Yes. This is my friend Sophia.
I'm gonna be on camera.
Oh no, all right. Well anyway, see you guys later.
All right. Yo, thank you for having us. It was a great time, man.
It was great. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll talk
And
to you
everybody at
soon.
home, follow me at Yes I Am Goldilocks.
I'm dying.
All right, take care.
Peace.
Oh my God.
You guys are so
This almost became a very different kind of show. All right, Em, we are ready for you. So excited to have you. Em, I see just red. Is that part of the show or? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna read your bio and then I'll let you take it away. M the Myth is a pop star revolutionizing live performance and paving the way for a new genre, queer pop. Since moving to New York City from California in 2017, they have solidified themselves in New York City's avant-garde scene as a queer performer. Bright costumes, dramatic makeup, surreal visuals, and heartfelt choreography bring an undeniable air of radiance to their stage. M the Myth was the recipient of the Stanford Alumni Artist Grants 2019 and the Brooklyn Arts Council 2020 Fund for Artists. Their single, Speed of Life, was featured on Billboard's Queer Necessities playlist this past February. Right before COVID-19, they were slated to perform at iHeartRadio headquarters in New York City. M is passionate about community leadership and LGBTQIA+ issues. They co-founded Blonde Artist Management, whose mission is to expand opportunities for female-identifying LGBTQIA+ artists. M organized a benefit concert for the victims of the Pulse nightclub shooting in both Fresno, California 2016 and New York City 2019. They were able to raise over $1,500 for Equality Action Florida Inc.'s Fund for the Families. Music Connection magazine described their songs as having unabashed hookability, and their music video for Let's Get Drunk Anyway was featured on the front of LGBTQ music charts in 2019. M the Myth is about experiencing your own divine, the vital love between us all. Without further ado, here is M the Myth.
This is a story about a girl named Lucky. Early morning, she wakes up and knock, knock, knock on her door. It's time for makeup, perfect smile, and it's you they're all waiting for. Isn't she lovely, this Hollywood girl? And they say she's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? It's in an image, in a dream, but there's no one there to wake her up. And the world is spinning, she keeps on winning. But tell me what happens when it stops. Isn't she lovely, this Hollywood girl? They say she's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? Best Actress, and the winner is Lucky! I'm Roger Johnson for Pop News, standing outside of the arena waiting for Lucky. Oh my God, here she comes! Here she comes! Isn't she lovely, this Hollywood girl? Key change. And they say she's so lucky, she's a star. Wait on, let's do that again. Here she is, Lucky. She's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do so much, Connor, for having me. I hope everyone's donating to the National Bailout Fund, and I'm in the middle of finals for school, so this is a real treat to come and perform for everyone here. And raise some money. Let's raise some money. Next is a song that I wrote called Crumble, and it will be on my next album called Mistreated Boys, and this is that song. Broken glass on the floor, looking real tough. Wilted flowers you gave me, leaving you never looked so good. Never looked so good right now. In this night, I'm in control. Don't shoot me down, X on my back. If I breathe you in, my lungs collapse. Please, I'm losing my soul. Don't build me up to watch me crumble. You make me crumble. Silver bullet in my heart, killing me. I know you're not worried. You break me. I love you. Yes, I did. Yes, I do. I love you. I'm in control. Don't shoot me down, X on my back. If I breathe you in, my lungs collapse. Please, I'm losing my soul. Don't build me up to watch me crumble. You make me crumble. Let me go. If I let you go, it all unfolds. Don't shoot me down, X on my back. If I breathe you in, my lungs collapse. Please, I'm losing my soul. Don't build me up to watch me crumble. You make me crumble. You make me. Thank you so much. I'm gonna switch it up, and I hope y'all can hear me. I'm gonna play another cover. Hopefully, it's not as sad as the other one, but let me see. I have to bring this down. Um, I was thinking about Britney today, and that song just popped into my head. So I didn't get that much time to practice, but I don't know. Anyways, this is Landslide. Take my love, take it down. Climb a mountain and turn around, and you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brought you down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know sometimes. 'Cause I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children grow older, and I'm getting older too. So take my love and take it down. Yeah, you climb a mountain and you turn around, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, or the landslide brought you up. Oh, mirror in the sky, I know what love is. Mirror in the sky, I think I can. No, mirror in the sky, I know what love is. I know what love is. Though I've been afraid of changes, I built my life around me. Now time made me bolder, even children grow younger. And maybe we're getting a little younger too. Maybe we're all getting a little younger. Maybe 2020 is gonna make us younger. Probably not, but it might. Who knows? Maybe it'll give us memories that will keep on sharing and make us want to live longer. Maybe. Thank you. Now I wish I could see everybody. This is like really fun, but I can't see y'all. And I hope you're doing okay and you're doing all right. And I miss performing so much. And and just brings everyone together, and it can create such connection between us all. And even online, I still believe that's true. And I hope you can feel what I'm feeling, and I feel you watching, and I hope you can feel me sharing. And let's raise money for National Bailout Fund. And thank you, Connor. I just have like a few more songs. My name is Emma Myth, and this is awesome. Thank you. Oh, this is a new song and an old song, because it was something that I wrote a while ago, but it is about survival, so it's very 2020. It's called Pray, and I'm releasing it on January 7th, which is a Thursday, and shooting a music video for it. This is the acoustic version of it. It's called Pray. Boys will be boys, but they'll regret if they hurt me. Black tie affairs, wolves gather to hunt me down. I'll take control of them. Little do they know, a taste of me will be their end. Eat me alive, I'm not afraid. I'm stronger when I'm bruised or played. One kiss and you'll be my prey. Rip me to shreds, I'll take my revenge. Got tricks in my sleeve, so I say. One kiss and you'll be my prey, my prey. I'm just a girl, camouflage in toxic flesh, sweet scent of my skin. Just the monsters to death, blinded by the sight of me. Little do they know, they'll die consuming my meat. Eat me alive, I'm not afraid. I'm stronger when I'm bruised or played. One kiss and you'll be my prey. Rip me to shreds, I'll take my revenge. Got tricks in my sleeve, so I say. One kiss and you'll be my prey, my prey. Know you want it, know you got it, know you need it bad. Know you want it, know you got it, know you need it bad. Then you will hear the sound, you lose control. I'll have your soul. Eat me alive, I'm not afraid. I'm stronger when I'm bruised or played. One kiss and you'll be my prey. Rip me to shreds, I'll take my revenge. Got tricks up my sleeve, so I say. One kiss and you'll be my prey, my prey. My prey. Thank you. Oh my God. You can tell my voice is like getting out. I haven't performed in so long. I've just been like online, school, typing away, looking at screens, and but I'm here. Here to sing for y'all, share music and raise money, and I'm so happy to be here again. I want to do oldie but goodie. I got a lot of love but need my space. Not ashamed to look but am afraid to feel your touch, to feel you here next to me. I'm not surprised that you don't understand. Seen it all, don't make me fall again. So if you choose to throw it all away, don't you hide your pain. Just let go, just give in, and remember, if you're looking for a second chance for a love that won't end, then forget about us, forget about love for one night. Mold my body like clay for one night. Promise you're gonna stay, yeah, for one night. Please remember my name. One night, one night, one night, one night. Oh, 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 one night, one night. Oh, 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 one night, one night. If you want to listen to more of that, there's a music video and a remix by DJ Whitney Day, who's this awesome queer DJ based in LA, and it's a really fun track. I love playing acoustic music. This is like this is like a launch key, Novation launch key, but taking a song and I think that's why I fell in love with music, because I fell in love with Gaga and I loved all her pop and her bangers really, but I really fell in love with her when I would hear her play on the piano and they were these stripped down versions of songs, and that to me is really like that's what I resonate with. I think at the heart of everything I do. If you Google or look me up on Instagram, M the Myth, at MTHE Myth, you'll see like a lot of glitz and glam, because I love it and it's really fun. But I think the reason why I do music is because it offered me a platform to say the things that I just wasn't equipped psychologically, emotionally, spiritually to say, and to express. Music is light and music is sound, and when we share that, there is change in the world. And I just say thank you so much. Cheers, and we're changing the world. Connor, you're changing the world. All these artists have been so amazing tonight. I love each and every one of them. And I want to just close out with one of my bangers. This is called The Wrong Man. Blindsided by your touch, your quicksand, pulling me into your dark wasteland. Casket for my heart, you'll never play the part. No, you're not meant for me. We should never be together. We are heart to heart, hand in hand. Never thought I'd see I was falling for the wrong one, falling for the wrong man. My body's cutting waves, lost in each devotion. Never was in my plan, falling all the way. Guess he's the reason why I love to follow you gold without the shine deep inside of mine. Why do I keep digging? We should never be together, but here we are, heart to heart, hands in hand. Sometimes we fall for the wrong thoughts, where it's like, you know, you're thinking something negative about yourself, and you fall for it. You're like, yeah, I believe that. I believe that's true. I believe that I'm not good enough. That's the wrong man. That's the wrong thought, you know? And one day, you're gonna understand to let it go, as well as I. Never thought I'd say I was falling for the wrong one, falling for the wrong man. My body's gotten waves, lost with devotion. Never was in my plan, falling all the way, Will I understand I was falling for the wrong one, falling for the wrong man? Thank you so much. My name is M the Myth. This has been awesome. I hope you stay in touch, DM me, and be friends. I hope you donate to the National Bailout Fund, and may the universe and divine energy of existence bless you forever and ever. Thank you. Do I? Oh, there's Connor.
Hey, oh man, that was so beautiful. Thank you for that, Em.
Thanks.
Yeah. I really love what you said about like the two sides of Gaga, of like the pop and the glitz and the glam and all of the fun amazingness of that like pageantry, but also like the deep emotion and heart at the core of music. And I think you embody both of those elements so much. And it's, as so I'm so grateful for you for sharing this like the that emotional part with us today. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Can you talk a bit about your writing process? How you kind of combine, like, how do you embody both of those sides of you in one song? So, like, this, you said this is your banger, and it was also like a very gentle song at the same time, one of a lot of tenderness. So, can you talk about how you embody like both aspects of yourself in like one piece of art?
Um, yeah, I like so I've made two versions of that song that I haven't released yet, and I I think sad music makes great like dance music too,
Yeah.
and I just like gravitate to because I just like envision being in a club and like crying, you know, like with the lights out, nobody's watching, we're all just like letting go. But I don't, I mean, I don't know, I guess like it translates. For me, I guess it translates. I think they are two, they're like one of the same thing. Um, like, in like, glitz and glam is like an extension of like authenticity.
Mm.
Like it's like sometimes I feel like when I was growing up, I like was like really extroverted and kind of like peppy, and maybe some of that was like holding a darkness inside of me and like trauma, but also I think there was a perception that some of that was like fake, you know, but like it's very much like I don't know. I think like we are who we are, and there's joy in glitter as well as in blood. Or if it's not joy, it's like relief. Um, glitter cuts, though. Glitter can cut your eyes.
Glitter cuts. Wow, if there's not a better metaphor. Glitter cuts. Um, can you? What's the process of writing one of these songs, like from the idea to the finished product or the finished song?
Uh, it's usually starts with like I haven't talked about my emotions in a while, and then
Yeah.
the piano, and then I'll just like be like, oh, okay, so I'm dealing with something, and I'm like recording it because I like. So rarely do I like go to the piano and like not record, which is a own problem in itself. But just because it's you never know what you're gonna sing that you're gonna like to want to morph into something. And then so if I do like something, I'll take that melody and I'll just like keep going, and it's more organic at first. Usually, I've gotten into like top lining and like writing on top of beats and stuff, and then
Mm.
and uh, editing, revising, having multiple iterations of that. But from the piano, it's usually the melody, and then sometimes just like some words like come out, and then maybe I'll just write it down because I know if I don't, then I'm like more likely to finish a song if I have basic words down.
Mm.
If I don't, then I won't. Like or it'll be several months until I do.
Okay.
And then once I get those words down and I kind of look at the song, there's this kind of like feeling that I reach for when I like feel, I guess it's like a sense of satisfaction really when I'm looking at the lyrics and I'm like, oh yeah, that's it, because music can just keep on changing and like you can keep on working on one song for forever. um,
Yeah.
and like I don't know how you personally like if you have any ideas on like when it feels like that would be great, but that's what I reach for, you know. Well, how do you do it?
Well, I'm still working on putting out my first EP, so I'm a horrible perfectionist, but I think to get past my perfectionism, not my perfectionism, sometimes if I have a meaning behind a creative choice, if I can say I made this choice because I because it has a certain meaning, because it tells the story, or because it makes you dance, or because it makes you feel a certain emotion, then I can be settled and say like I've accomplished whatever story I'm trying to tell. So I think it's like that for me, where I try to make creative decisions based on what story I'm trying to tell or what feeling I want the audience to have. And if I could say that it accomplishes that goal, then I could say, all right, it's done.
That's like, yeah. Do not have. That's so good. That's so valuable.
A friend once told me I was complaining because I was like so being so perfectionistic about something, and they were like, "Well, what are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to achieve?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, "Well, how are you going to be able to do something that you if you don't know what you're even trying to do? Like, if you're trying to like make a pancake versus making like cooking a hamburger, if you just don't know what you're cooking, you can't even cook it. But if you know it's a pancake, then you'll know when it's ready."
I,
Yeah.
I want to eat now a ham.
I just had pancakes. Sorry. So I've
Uh,
how about for your videos, that you have such creative visuals, even the setting and like your wardrobe, and how do you make those choices and decisions, and what's been exciting for you about the recent videos that you've been putting together?
um, you know, really, I just love being crazy and being like, oh, let's do that. Like I've never thought about. Like, there's this kind of like almost a high, like a space, um, that I get into where it's like anything's possible, and the crazier the better, and try it, and even if it never happens or it doesn't exist, it's just like fun to be like, oh yeah, let's like do, I don't know, let's not huff paint. What, let's use paint. How can we use paint to modify an environment or a look, or like do something, I don't know. And it's just in this exciting headspace where like ideas come, and I'm surrounded by amazing, like, I don't know what in the universe has allowed this to happen, but I do believe that I've been so blessed to be with really smart, intelligent, creative people. And it's like really, when I, it's like a team that brings that together, you know. And I get the honor of like wearing the clothes and like, you know, being on set and being filmed and like lip singing and doing all that stuff, but not my live shows, lip singing for the videos. But I just feel like the people around me make, I mean, they're crazy good. Yeah.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about Blonde Artist Management? They've been shouting you out and been so awesome in the comments, and supporting everyone. Goldilocks too, and can you talk about like what that group is, and what they mean to you?
Yeah, it's like a, I mean, it's a family, like, um, it's, uh, it started in our garage. No, not really. Metaphorically, it's, I was like raising money for a music video, and Rebecca, who is the CEO,
The
um,
CEO.
the queen, she like was like,
had raised money for her documentary because she's an activist and she was trying to like change the world by introducing like high-speed rails in the United States. So she did this documentary called Transforming America, and like raised $10,000. Got like a bunch of like, crazy interviews with crazy like really important people. And she's working on a new documentary about adoption, reckoning with the primal wound, which is it's so cool to like. She's my manager and she's like a CEO, but she's also like an artist. And like, I mean, that really describes, I feel like, the dynamic. It's like, and we're all like just going for it. And like, I met Goldie and Raquel, an open mic in Astoria. Have you ever been to UCUT before?
Mm-mm.
Show and Telly.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, a few of my friends have gone, and I follow them on Instagram now.
Yeah, you should go. I think maybe I talked to you about this, but that like that was an amazing night. They're amazing artists, and like yeah, and also Celeste Krishna is on the label, and she's super cool. Her album just dropped. You have to check that out. Called My Blue House, and I sung background vocals for it. And Celeste was Rebecca was filming Celeste for years, and using her music in her documentaries. And I remember listening to her music, Celeste music, and being like, "Wow, like that's amazing! Like that's someone who's like in New York right now." At the time, I was in California in college, and that's where I met Becca. And I was like, "Wow, that's like someone who's like really an artist. Like, my Rebecca knows a real artist who's like trying to make it happen, like in her life, like and then I eventually moved out here and like am friends with Celeste, and I really look up to her. The people, like, I don't know, there's no, like, what I want to say is, like, I feel like this isn't worth music. Being out there, entertainment isn't, like, worth anything if it's not shared. If it's not, like, sometimes I think Tan was saying this, like, you have two views of yourself, because it can be shared with yourself in a way, like, but what is that self? And taking care of that self means that when you walk out into the world, you can give so much more, because you're not like dried up.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So that's Blonde does that. Rebecca's kick ass. It's amazing to see people succeed, like that you love.
Yeah. Wow, that's so powerful. Well, we're running a little bit out of time, so one more question. What is a creative goal or challenge or choice or like exploration that you'd like to do in the future coming up, or something that you're working on now, like some curiosity or some challenge or just something that you're really excited to try?
I want to. I want to mix my like. I want to make another. I'm still working on an album, but I want to. Is that what I want to do? I can do anything.
If to my question, you can do anything. Yeah, I believe in you.
Um, I mean, I don't know. I like. Don't know. I want to make. Oh, I want to do rock, indie rock. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I want to create a persona. I want to live. I want to make it out of 2020 alive.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I'm really excited for both of you being alive in 2021, and also for your indie rock album with a crazy persona or whatever. So whatever it might be, it sounds really fun.
Yeah, I think, yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, cool. Well, if you want to stick around, there's like a small closing ceremony that we do at the end of each night. But first of all, thank you so much for performing. It was so beautiful and so fun, and I really enjoyed hanging out with you again too. It's been really fun, and thank you for introducing me to that lovely family of artists and people. And yeah, it's really special. So the closing ceremony begins now, and what it is the Festival of Lights and Sounds is a Hanukkah pun. And so originally I thought I would like light a candle each night to kind of close this off, but instead I've been reading a quote or a passage. So today, inspired by all of the beautiful things that people have been saying about their creativity, I'm reading from The Artist's Way, which is one of my favorite books on creativity. My sister Rory, who was here yesterday, and we actually did light a candle. Uh, she introduced me to it. She got it to me for Christmas, even though we're like half Jewish and half Catholic, so it's complicated. But anyway, so this is the quote that I wanted to read today. And if you'd like to respond at all after I read it and like share your thoughts about whatever it brings up for you, you're most welcome to. As artists, we must learn to be self-nourishing. We must become alert enough to consciously replenish our creative resources as we draw on them, to restock the trout pond, so to speak. I call this process filling the well. Filling the well involves the active pursuit of images to refresh our artistic reservoirs. Art is born in attention. It is the its midwife is detail. Art may seem to spring from pain, but perhaps that is because pain serves to focus our attention onto details. For instance, the excruciatingly beautiful curve of a lost lover's neck. Art may seem to involve broad strokes, grand schemes, great plans, but it is in the intention to detail that stays with us, the singular image, what haunts us and becomes art. Even in the midst of pain, the singular image brings delight. The artist who tells you differently is lying. In filling the well, think magic, think delight, think fun. Do not think duty. Do not think what you should do, spiritual sit ups like reading a dull but recommended critical text. Do what intrigues you, explore what interests you, think mystery, not mastery. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I chose that quote today because I've been so inspired by everybody talking about their sense of freedom and curiosity and play that they've been bringing to their art. I think my process can be very um, laborious and kind of like stuck, and like it's a lot of like getting through mud and trying to. I think sometimes I feel like I try to create a labyrinth that makes whatever true emotion or creative idea seem different, like I'm kind of disguising it in some way by creating this elaborate scheme to make it look like something else. And I've been really inspired by the way that people have been talking about their art and about the play and the delight and the like trying something out and just exploring and seeing where it can go. And so I think I want to engage with that sense of freedom and that sense of trust in myself as I go forward into the new year and into the new day. Like I want to try that tomorrow, you know? So I just appreciate everyone sharing their creative process with me because it's really helping me to loosen up and to reconnect with the whatever the thing is that Tan was talking about, like myself, and have that more clear connection and healthy connection, so and relationship, so that I can kind of just flow. Yeah. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we close out?
Um, just thank you so much for bringing so many amazing people together under your amazing wings. And like, uh, you're like an inspiration. This is like the second year that I've done this, and I just think you're such a badass. And um, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about this festival is it kind of makes me look good because it was like, oh, Connor put this thing together, but it's sort of like throwing a party with all of like your favorite people, and like I'm just excited that everybody showed up. I'm just like, oh man, like all my favorite people are here. It's like cooking your birthday meal for yourself, and you're like, oh, this happened to be all of my favorite foods. Yeah. So thank you for being one of those favorite people that and favorite artists that I'm really excited that are here.
Anytime.
Yep. Cool. Well, on that moment of love, I think we should close out, and we'll say description in below. You can find all about all these different artists and also donate to the national bailout. We're so close to $2,000, which was our original goal, and our stretch goal is 2,500. And we've got one last crazy night for you tomorrow, and it is full, jam packed with artists. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to all of this beautiful music and poetry and art, and thank you for taking the time to be here with us, even though we're apart. Just like Em said, we're still here together. So thank you so much, and I'll see y'all soon.
Woo!
Cool. All right, the stream is